Well, welcome to CBS News Mornings. I'm Anne-Marie Green, and here's a live look at Gaza right now, where you can see people scrambling in the streets. The entire region is bracing for an expected ground invasion by Israel. Secretary of State Antony Blinken is back in Israel this morning after a 6-country tour of Arab states. He is working to prevent the conflict between Israel and Hamas from spreading throughout the region. Meanwhile, in Gaza, more than 1 million people have fled their homes in the past week as Israel intensified airstrikes. And this comes as authorities deny reports of a ceasefire in southern Gaza. More than 4,000 people have been killed in the fighting on both sides. And as we mentioned earlier, the conflict is expected to ramp up with an expected Israeli ground invasion of Gaza. Israel has given no timetable for when that may happen, though. During an interview with 60 Minutes, President Biden shared his thoughts on an Israeli occupation of Gaza.
I think it'd be a big mistake. Look, what happened in Gaza, in my view, is Hamas and the extreme elements of Hamas don't represent all the Palestinian people. And I think that it would be a mistake for Israel to occupy Gaza again. But to going in and taking out the extremists, the Hezbollah is up north, but Hamas down south is a necessary requirement.
So joining me now from Israel with more is CBS News, the foreign correspondent Ian Lee. So, Ian, first let's just start off with kind of what's the latest at this hour. You know, a few hours ago, there were these reports of a possible ceasefire in the southern end of Gaza, and then very quickly all sides denied that was actually happening. So what do we know about how things are going at this hour?
Yeah, hi, Anne-Marie. You know, covering previous wars, I can tell you those rumors always come and go and rarely ever stick. You know, that is an important thing, though, down south, the opening up that Rafah border crossing. We heard from Egypt's foreign minister said that they have aid waiting on their side of the border. They're ready to open it up, let that aid in, let Palestinians with foreign passports out. There's believed to be hundreds of Americans stuck inside of Gaza. And also, you know, again, get that aid in because it is desperately needed. Gaza is running out of food, water, medical supplies, fuel. Some hospitals are saying that they have about 24 hours of fuel left to run the generators, and once that happens, they just won't be able to really help people. We know that there are, according to the UN, about 300,000 patients in Gaza's hospitals. That just kind of underscores how dire the situation is. 1 million people have been displaced, many of them moving south ahead of Israel's operation. And so there's a lot of fear and a lot of anticipation about what is going to happen next once this ground invasion happens. We know Secretary of State Antony Blinken, he's in town. He's trying to push for that humanitarian aid to get to the people. But it is, as we saw with this ceasefire, very difficult to do.
So, you know, we're all sort of waiting to see if Israel's ground invasion happens or when it might happen. They seem to have sort of pushed the timeline back, I suppose. But, you know, the whole purpose of this is to root out Hamas in Gaza. But it has occurred to me that Hamas is not just a terrorist organization. It's been running Gaza. It's sort of intertwined in the day-to-day of what keeps Gaza going. Is it realistic to root out Hamas without destroying Gaza?
That'll be very difficult. I can tell you back in 2014, we saw the opening stages of that ground invasion. Israel didn't announce it at all. It was only for the journalists to find out later. And then Israel finally announced that it started the invasion, probably trying to maintain that element of surprise. But once they go in, it is going to be very difficult. Talking to some people, they compare it to be like the American forces going into Iraqi cities during the Iraq War. You're going to have a lot of street fighting. It's going to be very bloody and very difficult. It is believed that Hamas has hundreds of miles of underground tunnels crisscrossing the Gaza Strip. Those are difficult to destroy. I've actually been in one of them. They're reinforced. And it's not just the Hamas militants that are going to be fighting. There's other militants in Gaza who are also going to take part of this fighting. And so once Israel pushes past past kind of the open terrain which surrounds the Gaza border and get into those cities, it is going to be street by street fighting. Hamas definitely has the upper hand when it comes to that because they know the ground and they've been preparing for something like this. So expect it to be very long and very bloody. And at the end of the day, Israel says its goal is to get rid of Hamas. That is going to be very difficult because Israel has said this before. They've tried to go in and take on Hamas, and Hamas every time has survived. And so ultimate victory is going to be very difficult to see how they're going to claim that.
Right, and they're trying to do that while sort of maintaining some stability elsewhere. I'm thinking about to the north. Israel has ordered people living in 28 communities to evacuate. These are communities near the Lebanese border. Can you tell us what's going on there?
Yeah, Marie, there's been a low-level fighting between Israel and Hezbollah militants. Hezbollah has fired guided missiles into Israel. Israel has responded with tank fire. It's been deadly on both sides. A Reuters journalist was killed by Israeli fire on the Lebanese side. And so, the death toll continues to mount up there. What officials in Israel and really in the United States and around the region, they don't want to see this war expand to with Hezbollah in Lebanon. Now, Hezbollah has said if this ground invasion takes place that they're willing to start a northern front, and that would be very difficult for Israel to handle. Israel says they can handle it, but when you look at Hamas's capabilities, when you look at Hezbollah's capabilities, Hezbollah definitely is a lot more professional fighting force. They fought in Syria for years. They have a lot more sophisticated weapons than Hamas has, and that's probably why we are seeing that aircraft carriers from the United States parked off the coast. You have the USS Gerald Ford off the coast right now. We know the USS Dwight D. Eisenhower is going to be coming. That sends a message to Hezbollah. It also sends a message to Iran that when this ground invasion happens, don't think about trying to take advantage of that. But it is creating that tense situation on the border. As you said, many communities have been evacuated. Their civilians. There's a 2.5-mile buffer zone along that border. A tense situation, Anne-Marie.
Yeah, it is indeed. Ian, thank you. Well, the Israeli military now says 199 hostages are being held by Hamas in Gaza, and a number of Americans are believed to be among them. The U.S. State Department says 30 Americans have been killed and 13 remain unaccounted for. Our MTS tie-up spoke to a political spokesman for Hamas and asked him about freeing those hostages.
Why don't you just release the people who were abducted?
Look, okay, we want first of all, we want to stop this daily death in Gaza, daily killing in Gaza. It is our priority now. Your priority should be how to stop killing, and this is genocide in Gaza. It is really genocide in Gaza.
Hamas claims that 27 hostages have been killed in Israeli airstrikes and others have been wounded. Now, that information has not been confirmed. Meanwhile, deadly violence continues in the West Bank. Concerns are growing that the territory could erupt into another front in the war. Since the Hamas attack that killed 1,400 Israelis, Jewish settlers in the area have been attacking Palestinians. Health officials say at least 56 Palestinians have been killed in the West Bank and East Jerusalem. The Palestinian Authority's official news agency published, then removed, comments made Sunday by President Mahmoud Abbas criticizing Hamas. The comments came during a call between Abbas and Venezuela's president. The two discussed Israel's bombing of Gaza following the Hamas attacks, and the original quote said, "The president also stressed that Hamas's policies and actions do not represent the Palestinian people." It was not made clear why the reference was removed. Abbas has been opposed to Hamas since it seized control of Gaza in 2007. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer and a bipartisan delegation of 4 senators met with officials in Israel this weekend. They discussed a potential future U.S. aid package.
We told them that as well as military assistance, intelligence assistance, diplomatic assistance, we wanted humanitarian assistance. And I said to them, find the fastest, safest, and most efficient way to do so. We also told them it was really important and it's difficult. We know it's difficult, but still we have to minimize civilian casualties in Gaza.
Schumer said when he returns to Washington, the Senate will vote on a resolution to condemn the Hamas attacks and pledge support for Israel. The U.S. government, meantime, is working to help American citizens who want to leave Israel. Last night, a charter flight with around 300 people from Tel Aviv landed in Tampa. But with major U.S. airlines canceling flights because of the conflict, most people are having to find their own way home. Astrid Martinez has more.
Americans are slowly returning to safety as the conflict between Israel and Hamas rages on. Scott Forrester arrived in Chicago.
I got to the gate, I sat down, and I started crying.
The Madison, Wisconsin resident traveled first from Israel to Berlin, then Washington, D.C., before finally landing at O'Hare International Airport.
I'm very grateful to be here, but my heart is just heavy and sad because of the people that I left behind.
Other families arriving in New York and New Jersey boarded flights on the Sabbath, the Jewish day of rest, when travel is typically forbidden. In this case, the Israeli airline El Al made the exception for the first time since 1982.
We've seen rockets going off in the air, smoke rising, but there's lots of hurting people over there, lots of refugees.
U.S. officials say their first charter flight landed in Athens, Greece. In recent days, other governments have evacuated their citizens, including Germany, Argentina, France, and India. Many spent days in bomb shelters, some even injured in the conflict. These Peruvian citizens applauding after boarding a flight bound for Rome. Astrid Martinez, CBS News, New York.
In Illinois, a man is accused of stabbing a 6-year-old Muslim boy to death and injuring his mother. Authorities say 71-year-old Joseph Chuba committed the attack Saturday because the victims were Muslim and he was upset about the war between Israel and Hamas. The mother was hospitalized in serious condition, and she told police her landlord attacked her. Chuba faces several charges, including hate crimes and first-degree murder. President Biden released a statement last night condemning the attack. He urged all Americans to come together and reject Islamophobia, bigotry, and hatred. He said, quote, "There is no place in America for hate against anyone." Well, the FBI is warning that threats in the U.S. have been rising since Hamas attacked Israel last week. Director Christopher Wray told reporters yesterday that there have been threats against Jews and Muslims and houses of worship. Officials say Hamas or other foreign terror organizations could call on their supporters to conduct attacks in the U.S. The FBI is moving quickly to mitigate the threats.